Hey friends, it's Ashley, and today I have a new layout for you for Kerri Bradford Studios. I am using the freebies that she has out for International Scrapbook Day. She is doing a week-long freebie each day. They are only free for 24 hours, so the one I'm using on my layout is actually going to be one that you need to pay for now. But if you haven't gotten in on that, make sure you're checking Kerri's website for the free ones that she'll be posting all the rest of this week. So I used the freebie as a cut file, and I decided that I would do a layout with all of the kids' photos, since right now was kind of something current. And I cut it from some of the Heidi Swap Fresh Air collection. And so I just did 3 different pattern papers, and you can see that I just went ahead and took the inside pieces out. And I did make mine a little bit smaller, so you do have to be careful because it is more delicate when you size it down. But this would also be a fun one to make bigger also, if you wanted to do that. But I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back, and I'm using some Heidi Swap adhesive here. And I'm just kind of smoothing that around so it covers the back side of my cut file. And I'm just going to kind of do a repeat. Like, I like to repeat things a lot of times on my layouts. So repeating the photos, repeating the cut file, just to kind of give a fun look to my page. And so I'm going to get this one in place, and then I'll finish the rest of that off camera and get all of those done. And I really like the look of the pattern paper on the white background. Normally I cut my cut files from white paper, but since I was using a white background for this, I wanted it to kind of stand out. So I thought it would be fun to use the pattern paper. And I also am using some of the new Kerri Bradford stamps for the month of May. I'm using Along Those Lines and the Savannah Alpha. So I wanted to add each of the kids' names. So all of the product outside of the stamps and the freebie cut file are from the Heidi Swap Fresh Air collection. And I'm using the stamps with some of the labels from the collection and just stamping each of their names. This is the small Savannah, and it has capitals, lowercase, and numbers on it. So you get a lot of stamp on this one little stamp here. And I'm using the capitals to go on the labels here. So I'm just going to stamp out each of the names, and I wanted to use black ink, and this is archival ink since it is such a small stamp. The archival ink usually covers your stamp better if you're using a tiny stamp like this. If you do want to use like Distress Oxide ink with a stamp this size, it's better to go ahead and prime what you're going to use. And you can do that by stamping with an archival ink just on some scrap paper, just to kind of get like a coating on your stamp, and then it will usually pick up the Distress Oxides a little bit better. So now I'm using some older alphas from Citrus Twist kits that I just had in my stash. And I wanted to put each of the kids' ages. And I liked the contrast of the black numbers with the bright colors from the collection. So I'm just putting each one of those by the label. And you can kind of see how I'm just repeating the same kind of design cluster over and over on the layout. And since I only have 3 kids, I decided to do kind of like a visual triangle where I have the 2 photo clusters on the left hand side, and then I did one in the center on the right hand side, so it kind of just guides your eye around the whole page. And then I'm using 3 of the little photo corners just to also kind of repeat that same pattern. And I thought it would be fun to use Along Those Lines as just kind of some border stamps under the labels, just to bring in some more color and design. And it looks like it adds a little bit of texture because of the fun designs of the little borders here. And I kind of chose some colors for my Distress Oxide inks that go with the collection. So I used Fossilized Amber, Speckled Egg, and Tattered Rose, which are pretty much 3 of my favorite colors. I like to use those those inks a lot. And I'm just going to finish up this last one here. And I kind of used one of those as like a little heart border The other one is kind of just a diagonal line shape. And then I also use one that's like a little arrow shape too. And these could be used in so many ways. You could use it like I did, or you could also use it for like journaling lines would be fun. So lots of different things that you can do with that stamp. And then this is just a previous wood veneer from Color Cast Designs, and I wanted to use it to bring some texture to the layout. So I just kind of added it in the center so it kind of connects to everybody's photo. And then I wanted to use some of the little phrase stickers here. And this is like a technique that Heidi does all the time where she cuts those stickers apart. It just adds a little bit more fun to the look of it. So I am going to cut this one into little strips and add it at the top of my layout. And I think this one was the definition for sunshine that I used, and it just has yellow type on it. And I just wanted to kind of fill in that space there at the top of the page. And then I had some old, I think these are possibly Feed Your Craft, maybe little heart puffy stickers that I wanted to bring in that match some of those colors that I was using from the Fresh Air collection. And then I always like to use a good Tim Holtz sticker word phrase if I can. I like this set because it has white phrases and black phrases on it. So I just choose 3 of those to go with each of the little photo clusters here. And just get those in place by each of the photos. And I like the contrast of the black with the bright colors, so that's why I like to bring in black sometimes, because it just makes your other colors really pop and stand out. So I did want to add the date here at the bottom, so I did go back and grab one more of those labels, and I am going to stamp 2022 using that Savannah Alpha again here. And I just kind of create a little cluster there at the bottom since I had that white space. And so I just get that finished up and grab some enamel dots to kind of go with that too, to bring in kind of those same colors that I use for my inks, a yellow, a blue, and a pink. So I just kind of match the enamel dots to those colors to finish off that little cluster there at the bottom. And I didn't want to put specific dates since these were all from different times. So having the 2022 is good just to have the date to remember of when these photos were taken. And that will pretty much finish up my layout for today. If this is your first time to visit my channel, I would love for you to become a new subscriber. Thanks so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.